As a tarot reader, you might have built up an entire collection of beautiful tarot decks that are wonderful to go through, to work with, but there might also be a couple of decks where you know that if you use that deck, you're going to get an accurate tarot reading. You're going to get a super easy experience of interpreting the cards, and we just know that not all of our decks are like that. Whether it is our experience working with the deck or the images of the deck, there's always a reason why a certain deck is ride or die for you. I'm Ruby and I'm here to help you make better purchasing decisions through my tarot chats and deck reviews. Today I wanted to start a tag because first of all I love doing tags of other people. I wanted to create another one of mine. I have created multiple tags in the past. I'll link them down below, but these are decks that are ride or die. Like if I feel like shit and I want to do a tarot reading and that I know will resonate, if I'm going to do a tarot reading for someone else that is maybe a little bit of a skeptic or I want to impress them, I will pick one of these decks to do like a fire tarot reading for them. Or, you know, if I am in a situation where I just feel like I really need to impress someone or show that I am a good tarot reader, these are the decks that I use. And for you, you might have different situations where what would make like a ride or die tarot deck for you. So I would love to hear that. But let's get going with the first one. And it is one that I don't really talk about a lot on my channel because this is like my ride or die for myself. And that is the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. This is a deck that I have gotten from a channel viewer that I am so appreciative of. And this is one of those decks that I only read with for myself. I don't use this deck to read with for anybody else, but it is my ride or die if I need to do a reading for me that is like more spiritual, more inside, more like very deep and personal. Then this is a deck that I will reach for because I can pull a card, I can do a reading with it, and it just feels like it knows me so incredibly well. It is absolutely wild. I will say I haven't pulled from this for a while, so I think I want to put it on my shelf with decks to use like often right now. Because it is just one that, like I said, it's ride or die. Because whenever I do a reading with this, it hits so hard. It resonates so much. And that is what what a ride or die deck needs to do for me. It needs to hit hard and resonate every single time that I use it. So that is why the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot is a ride or die for me. Another one that has been a ride or die for me for a while now is my Dreaming Way Tarot. I used this tarot deck when I did a reading for Aphrodite, and he is like a pop culture psychic here on YouTube and Twitch, and he invited his viewers to do a reading for them. And then I submitted a reading using this tarot deck because I knew that, you know, I wanted to impress him. I wanted to impress him because I knew that he was going to react to tarot readings on his stream. And just as I was hopping on his stream where he announced that he was going to react to people's tarot readings of him, mine popped up. Like the next one was mine that I did. And he was so wonderful. And his chat was so wonderful to my reading of him that this deck did exactly what I needed it to do, which was help me do an accurate, hit spot on interpretation tarot reading for him. And I don't know, I have like a very fond memory of that, which is super funny because this is like my Gemini energy tarot deck, and Aphrodite is a Gemini, so I hadn't even thought of that, but it makes sense, I guess, because this deck is super hard-hitting in a way where it is super honest. It doesn't mind calling you out. It can be kind of harsh sometimes. Like I said, I feel like that's a little bit Gemini energy, but it's super honest. And I needed a deck that was super honest. I guess this would work for like political tarot readings as well, but I feel like if I were to use, I don't know, if I were to use this for political tarot readings, would this deck like look a little unprofessional? I don't know. It feels like really whimsical and fun. But this is, like I said, a deck that if I want to impress someone, if I need to do a reading that is spot on, then the Dreaming Way Tarot is a deck for that. Another one that does that for me is my Lycier tarot. Are you guys sick of me yet? I'm not going to talk about this deck for a long time because I talk about this deck all the time on my channel. It's the deck along with another one here on my list, which you will be able to guess now, that I always recommend for beginner tarot readers because I think this deck is really beginner friendly. Because of the bold images, it's pretty. I like the guidebook. It has keywords and interpretations, but whenever I do a reading with this, this is like my go-to deck. If I were to go to like a coffee shop to do readings for people like who want to like come by and do like get a reading from me, then this is one of the decks that I will for sure bring because it just doesn't let me down. Like I said, this is ride or die. I love this. It does great for me. So that is the Lycier tarot. Then I might as well talk about the next one as well. Good Karma tarot. I love this deck. I hate the box, which is why I have it in a separate bag that I handmade myself. And just be honest, like the sunflowers go so well with the yellow bags. And then I have a golden healer crystal. Perfect match, perfect match. But this is another one of those decks where I would pull this more if I need a gentler message. So if I were to do a reading for someone who's completely new to tarot, who is very inexperienced with tarot, then this would be my ride or die deck because not only does it give super accurate readings, it's very easy for me to read with this. I know the images very well. I am very comfortable with using this deck. But also the images are more gentle. So if I were to do a reading for someone who is not used to seeing tarot cards, another type of tarot deck, the images might be a little bit scary, but this one doesn't have that. This one is very approachable, which is why this is the other deck that I always recommend for beginner tarot readers because I think it's super beginner friendly. So yeah, that is, and this is also a deck that I would probably like bring to a coffee shop if I were to do readings for people. So another ride or die because I just love it so much. And you guys are probably sick of hearing me talk about the Good Karma tarot and the Lycier tarot. But you know, sometimes there are just those decks that you love so much that you have to talk about all the time. So yeah. Now, I think this is my most recent deck of the decks that I have here, and it's my Ethereal Visions Tarot. And this has quickly become ride or die for me, where I actually use it to read for clients. I read for myself. This might also be like maybe the third deck that I would bring to a coffee shop with me because I have found this super easy to interpret. I don't know what it is, but I think first of all, they're really, really stunning. Like look at it's very white back here. The sun is shining really, really brightly. So, and it might be a little silly to say that this deck that I've had in my collection for maybe 3 months, maybe it's been 2 months, that it's already a ride or die, but that is how much I love working with this deck. This is the Luna edition, by the way, if you couldn't tell from the box yet, because this has more inclusive, like ethnically inclusive people in the deck. So I think that makes sense for reading for other people with as well. But I don't know, I just think this is really pretty, and if I wanted to impress someone for a tarot reading, then I think these images with the holographicness, it's just super stunning. And the readings that I do with it are really accurate. They're not like as easy and accurate, well, they're accurate, but it's like this is not like as easy to read with as like my Lycier tarot, for example, but this still comes really, really close. Why I do think, and it's why I do think it's a ride or die deck for me. Yeah. So I have 2 left. So let's start with this one, the Centennial Rider-Waite Smith. It's funny because for the longest time, I didn't want to get this deck because I didn't like the images. I didn't like the original RWS images, but I have to say, when I started doing my political tarot readings, I did live readings on very intense subjects, so I needed to use tarot decks that I really vibed with. I needed to use tarot decks that I knew weren't gonna let me down and that they were super easy for me to read with. And this was that, because this not only was super easy for me to read with, but it has a very neutral voice. So I think that using this for my political tarot readings really helped me be more confident in my readings because the voice was very neutral. It was super easy to work with this deck in the readings that I did. And it's also just super recognizable as a tarot card, as a tarot deck. So I think that is another plus. So yeah, that is why this is another one of those ride or die decks for me, where in the beginning, I didn't even really like RWS, but as I got this one, I first had the original RWS, and this is the Centennial RWS. So this one has like a little bit more of a muted color scheme, and this one just really vibes with me. I like the word vibes. It really vibes with me. So that is why this is another ride or die deck for me. I would love to hear your thoughts on the on like the Centennial or just the original like RWS. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Did you at first hated it and now you love it? Let me know what your like journey with the RWS is. And then my last deck, that is a ride or die, is also one that I haven't really used for a while, but it's one that I know I can always come back to, and I'll instantly have an accurate reading that is going to be super easy to interpret, and it's my Tattoo Tarot. So what makes this so easy to read is the pips. I think it's the pips, because within the pips, there's this, let me show you. There's this imagery that you can see. It's not just the 5 wands, like it's a Marseille-based tarot deck, but there's more to the pips than that. So here you can see sort of like 2 roads, 2 ways of going for the 2 of wands. Then here with the Ace of Cups, you see a lot of water flowing out of the cup. Let's see what other things we have. Let's see, what other pips do we have here? Here we have the 5 of coins and we have the skull in the middle. So it's like very difficulties. I know the coins, financial difficulties. Then here with the 10 of wands, this just screams like overload of work. So a lot of burdens. Then we have the 9 of coins and we have the butterflies and the flowers. So it shows like comfort and luxury. So that is how I think the Tattoo Tarot has really become a ride or die for me. Like I said, I haven't really been using it a lot, but I still think that it's a really powerful deck that I can always come back to. And I guess this would also be a deck that I would bring to a coffee shop. I don't know if I would want to bring like 5 decks to a coffee shop, but I don't know. I like the Tattoo Tarot. I think it's easy to read with, and it's one that I can always fall back on. So those were my ride or die decks. I would love it if you could do a VR to this. Let me know. You can tag me so I can see it. You can comment on this video if you've done it so other people can see it too. And I just really enjoyed doing this. I was inspired by the ride or die tag that was going around a long time ago in the makeup community. But I thought, you know what? We have ride or die tarot decks. If you want to include oracle decks, you can too. And if you don't have a channel, let me know your ride or die decks in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more tarot chats and deck reviews. Click the link on the screen right now to watch another video of mine. Again, thank you so much for watching and hope to see you next time. Bye!